efforts. Any revisions must be voted into law before the end of July.
Business Bulletin.
A business networking and referral mixer is planned for today at New Mexico Lindo, 5 Pleasant Street in Methuen, put on by the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. It'll run from 5 until 7. Professionals will be able to network, enter raffles, and enjoy complimentary appetizers. Chamber members can attend for a $10 entry fee, while potential members can attend for $20. Registration is accepted by calling 978-686-0900. And the Massachusetts Department of Transportation announcing another round of lane closures planned for tomorrow through Thursday as the bridge replacement project progresses on 495. Single-lane closures are expected between exits 48 and 49 during the hours of 6 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. The work is weather-dependent, and drivers are asked to look for signage and reduce speed through the construction area. In WHAV sports, the Boston Bruins are in action tonight at Tampa Bay to play the Lightning. The Celtics have the night off, and the Red Sox have 2 more exhibition games to play before the start of the regular season on Thursday night in Seattle. Tonight they'll be taking on the Cubs in Arizona. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source, and there's always more at WHAV.net, where you can sign up for the free newsletter and learn about membership options to support WHAV. It's tax deductible. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Wynn Damon.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. President Trump says his opponents who did treasonous things are evil and should be looked at following the conclusions of the Mueller probe. UK Prime Minister Theresa May says she will not be bringing her Brexit deal back to the UK's House of Commons for a vote Tuesday. And Apple has unveiled an expansive strategy to build services for the billions of iPhones and iPads in use.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill in the Merrimack Valley. Not a cloud in the sky tonight and cold with a low at 20 degrees. Just a 4-mile-per-hour northwesterly breeze, increasing upwards 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine once again with a high around 41. Clear in the low 20s come calling for Tuesday night. And high pressure sticking around, allowing for full sunshine. Temperatures top off in the middle 40s for Wednesday. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
This time could have been your time. Support 97.9 WHAV local service with your announcement on FM radio. Go to WHAV.net and click advertising to reach thousands of new customers. On air 24/7 and online all the time. 97.9 WHAV.
WHAV. Merrimack Valley. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
So we're good. That just made it go terrible, Chris. What you do? Hit audition?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Got buzz. Okay. All right. Sounds like there's a little buzz coming through that control now. All right. We're good. We're going to be all right.
You can get by with a little buzz.
That's right. Yeah. A little buzz never hurts, right? Okay. I'm sure it'll get cleaned up with the transmitter. It's 6:08. Colin LePage is with us till 7 o'clock. We're free-form tonight, right, Colin? We're going to talk about whatever
you want to talk about.
Whatever we want to talk about. So let's just get it going. Colin and I serve on the city council. We're good friends, and I'm sure we'll have a lively conversation. And Ralph, you always involve yourself with a lively conversation.
Sure.
So this should be a good hour. So
This
where should we start?
Correct?
Should we start with what you're going to talk about on the agenda this week? I saw you had something on the agenda.
On the agenda this week,
Or do you want to talk about
let's go to the
something that
agenda.
will bring phone calls, that we'll talk about marijuana?
Oh, that'll bring the phone calls?
Ooh.
Usually people, yeah.
Yeah, that'll bring a phone call.
We get phone calls.
You know what else is the hot topic lately? No pun intended, is solar.
So,
Oh.
Yeah, the sun is hot in Haverhill.
well, I'm
Is that on your talking points tonight,
Are
Colin?
you looking at my notes there, Ralph?
I admit, I was looking at his notes.
I'm the solar guy, so.
Yeah, so I hear there might be a moratorium.
The council voted for it, and now Solicitor Cox is implementing it. It has a few steps that need to be taken.
So,
but-
you know, I have
We're
an
gonna have a meeting
opinion.
and talk
But it's
about
only, it has nothing to do with houses. It
Right.
It's only.
Ground-mounted solar.
Ground-mounted solar, right.
So I don't know that a moratorium is a thing there.
Let me tell you why. The ordinance needs work.
Yeah, yeah.
When are we going to work on it, Council?
But you know what the problem is?
You have it scheduled for,
I do.
for another
Tuesday.
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks, April 3rd.
April
Wednesday,
3rd.
April 3rd.
But
Right.
here's
I
the
was
question.
sad to see that Orlando couldn't make that day. He could only make the 4th, though. I just scheduled it anyway on the 3rd.
Atta boy.
But we'll work with Orlando.
Yeah, he'll
Here's
be
my
involved.
thought. If we have a moratorium on solar, can we still have, I mean, is a moratorium untenable? Because could we still have the Bradford landfill that has permits?
See, there's in the ordinance, there is an A category, a B category, a C category, and a D category.
Okay.
The C category allows for municipal. I only suggested, and what went through, was taking out the A category, and that is for, private ground-mounted, large ground-mounted solar projects.
Okay.
So those are the ones that we're looking to, prevent until we have a chance to review and work the ordinance.
We're not going to shut off the sun.
Have a better thing. I
We're
mean,
not shutting off.
you
Well,
know,
we don't want to shut out the sun ever, especially
we
in
will
spring.
never, and we still allow the other categories. If
Gotcha.
somebody wants to put it on their house, if the city wants to do it, they have an ability to do it. So we're in good shape. It was not a severe undertaking to do that.
You know what's the good news in all this? Is that solar is prescient in everybody's mind.
It is. Solar's the future. I mean, I also brought forward, and we're also going to review the possibility of adding a requirement that all new commercial buildings have a solar component on their roof.
I like that.
And there are exceptions. If somebody could say, hey, look, I've got 60 to 80-foot pines all around me, so I can't get the sun, then they don't have to put solar on their roof. So we're a very fair thinking group, right, Colin?
I think so.
I think so too.
So that's from
Just the way we
Watertown.
did the marijuana setup for medical. We worked for almost a year in that. We worked for almost a year coming up with the zones and discussing all the different good and bad things we needed to consider. Our due diligence. We always do due diligence. Right?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I
Are you,
agree with
you're
you,
not
Counselor.
sure, though?
No, I know we do.
Oh, all right.
I don't know
And
if all
you do a
others
great job running the Administration and Finance Committee, and I am proud to be on that committee with you.
So let's talk all things budget then.
Budget. What
We just
budget?
jump all over.
Okay.
You have to
What
jump
do
in, I guess, right? I have
what-
to jump in.
Yeah, this is Colin. If we're talking budget, you're the guy we want
Because
to
I
hear
brought
from,
up
right?
Administration and
Yeah.
Finance.
No, I was
See
just
what I
saying,
did?
but-
You gave me a segue. I tried to give him one.
Yeah, I caught it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
back and forth. It's
Yeah.
a give and take.
All right. What are you worried about in the budget, Ralph?
I'm quite frankly not worried about anything
Nothing.
at this moment, but having Colin here, who that's been kind of your thing.
He
right?
is the
To
guy.
dig- to-
I like
You're the
to
guy
think,
known
yes.
for teasing out and digging out stuff that's
Yeah.
that's deep in there. So
He drills down.
yeah, so let's
Keep
hear
adding
it.
to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you're
That's his
on
thing.
Oak Island here. You're digging. So what are you finding?
Well, we don't have the budget yet. So the process has been, and it's historically has been.
Can you move up a little
I'm
bit?
sorry.
And Ralph,
The
can you-
process has
I
been
want
that-
Colin to move up a little bit and Ralph to stay back.
Move
Back
back.
off,
All right,
back
yeah,
off.
I have a hot mic here.
So the process is that we will get the budget sometime mid-May, and we'll do our hearings, as you know.
That's right.
It would be a lot better, I would think, for the council, and we've asked this, as you know, many times, to get more information on a more timely basis and all. But the big thing that I do when I get the budget book is go through, look over past histories, and then look at trends. And then basically it's to see what you've done in the past year and all. In those findings, as you say, I've pulled out to my account over $1.9 million from being somewhere else that we've all decided with the mayor we should use it for something else different.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
he's done a
a
great
matter
job.
of looking at accounts. I think the school committee, they started to do that some more. We got involved in more of that. As you know, it's usually just a line item total number that we're told that we can cut, and the council is not historically ever wanted to
I've never cut
a budget.
a nickel from schools.
From the schools or from virtually any department, really. It's just
Right.
a matter of, as they all come to us, so there's a finite number and what to do with it. And they've looked, I think, through their line items a little bit more, get a little more transparency. And that's kind of thing people look at as how clear it is to see these numbers. So they're there. It's just a matter of really digging deep into them and pulling out and asking the questions, what does that really mean in that line item?
Right, right.
You know, and then they have to
Well,
justify
that's
that.
what we do, in the way, but we're looking to maybe do it a little different. You know, I think President Mitchison, yourself, and have looked at maybe some new ways to try to get the budget accomplished with zero-based budgeting, that type of stuff that we've discussed. But we're not there yet, and we're not. It seems like the mayor is not. He said he worked on it a little bit last year, but we're still pretty traditional.
Pretty much the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
I mean, so
But he does start meeting. I will say he's probably doing it
With department heads?
right now, or
Oh, yeah.
very soon. He'll be meeting
doing
with
it.
every department head, discussing their budget in his office. He'll call us in and ask us, what we think about if there's any things that we want to have him consider for the budget, or what we are worried about.
Mm-hmm.
So we at least have that dialogue with the mayor, and it's been better. I think it's been more ongoing.
It's been more ongoing, and we've had some more input from department heads, where what would happen before is we would get the total budget, and that's, the mayor had met, and he would make some of the compromises and make some of the decisions of what could and could not be in the budget. And then we've teased out, as you said, the police budget as far as what they're lacking and such, as far as staffing or capital. And now some of the things we're talking about is capital, and as we're going through capital, some of these projects, but we're also, the big one that we're talking about now a lot, and in the past, but we're talking a lot more, is school buildings and
Right.
the condition of school buildings. Now, we've had the issue with the police station, and we're pretty much resolved most of the issues with the police station, but another big one will come up is the fire stations. And
Yep.
what condition they're in, and what's, as we go forward and we start doing more planning, and we talk about this master plan, but as we know, that's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be a lot of conversations, a lot of things, because it's not just looking at today, but looking 10, 15 years in the future, where this city should be.
Correct.
So that happens a lot with zoning, but also, where do we put our resources?
Right.
And trying to grow a commercial base.
But the master plan is more, I see it as visionary of where the city should be going.
Right.
Because it has no teeth. There's no part of
it's
the
just
master
a-
plan.
I want to say a wish
it's
and
a
hope list,
concept.
but kind of, what do you think it should be? So if you look at the last one, as we know, was done in the 90s.
Right.
And expired in 2005, is, okay, here's some things that we followed along that path and things went well, or we followed along that path and things didn't go well.
There are some problems, if you look at it seriously, for today. It doesn't match up.
Doesn't match up. I mean, one of the ones that we'll be talking about tomorrow night is the hail debt.
Right.
So, I mean, there's things in planning back in the time when this was being done. The hail was having some issues when the document was being done, and unfortunately, 15 years went by with losses accumulating before actually any action happened.
Right.
And now we've been saddled with that for almost the last 20 years, as far as paying off those losses for the operational costs,
Yeah.
for building the building, and then there's the other two that, the mayor wants to talk about this tomorrow night, then President Mitchison also has on about the other,
About the
liability, the OPEB.
the
which is
for
pensions
retirement.
and health.
Yeah.
And how much that is, and how that's going to go on and on. I mean, which deservedly so, to pay the retirees and all, but we also have to have a plan to do that.
The good thing is, we are still moving forward. I don't think there's any buildings left that aren't scheduled, at least, to be redone in the downtown historic district. And then Merrimack Street is starting to now blossom with, LePage's building, 10 stories high. I can't wait to see that. And there's great stuff happening. And so I think we're at least continuing to advance and grow. And we came through probably the roughest time the city's ever had back in the early 2000s. And then, Mayor Ferrantini, you got to give him credit. He worked us through. He cut us to the bone.
He tread the shipper out.
He did. It took time. And now we have some capital, some reserves that we could draw on, and we can now start doing some of these things that we just couldn't do. The capital improvements and even think about it. We were just trying to keep the lights on in the city. So with all that being said, there was talk about shutting the library down, running City Hall part-time.
When I came on, they were shutting off streetlights.
And I fought that, and I kept them on because I came up with some of the new alternatives that we're now using.
I love the new street lights. I know I've said that here.
Yeah.
I have them on my street and in my
it
neighborhood.
took some time to get there, but
Yeah,
little by little, we've made some adjustments.
Well, little by little is how you
do things.
You get
right.
to the middle.
Hey, we got to take a break. And we'll be back with more of this discussion with our guest, Colin LePage, on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9. This is the new way. You got to drop the point. 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
Boston stations aren't tuned into the Merrimack Valley, but you are. 97.9 WHAV has your local wave weather around the clock. Keep it on 97.9 WHAV.
Catch the wave.
When the Haverhill School Committee meets, 97.9 WHAV FM is there live from Haverhill City Hall. Class sizes, special education, teacher hiring, and spending are among the topics covered Thursday nights at 7 when the school committee is in session. Presented as a public service from 97.9 WHAV FM.
Community Spotlight.
Elder Services of the Merrimack Valley is in need of drivers to distribute Meals on Wheels to homebound elders in the Haverhill area. Distribution takes place weekdays, and more information is available by calling Virginia 978-651-3020. Submit your own nonprofit events and announcements at least 3 weeks in advance. For best results, use the online form under the Contact tab at WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the Open Mic Show, 6:22. Hey, I got to talk about something we do here constantly, and that's look for people with birthdays or anniversaries in the next month, and then we draw the name on the last Monday out of our cowboy hat. For who's
Today's the last Monday.
It is, so we're going to draw later in the show. We're going to draw a name for a cake or anniversary cake, a birthday cake or an anniversary from LBD's second generation Italian bakery located right in Bradford Square. Lots of free parking in front of their bakery.
Yeah, if you're a customer, you can park there. Otherwise, you're toast.
Well, it's only for LBD's. And they're there right in Bradford Square. And great stuff inside. You got to go inside though. You can't just park there. You got to go
As a
inside.
volunteer, I can't win this, correct?
No.
Wow.
No, neither can I, Ralph, as a volunteer.
You know, disappointment's just a part of life, Bill.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can go. You know what? You can go buy a cake at LBD's.
True.
You know, if they're not that expensive and they're great, and they have.
Well, I'm not that broke that I can't buy a cake.
Cookies.
It's not the bread line, Bill.
Cookies.
Right.
You know, bakery stuff, breads, all that stuff. LBD's.
Yeah. LBD's.
Check it out. All right, we're going to get back to our conversation with City Councilor Colin LePage. Head of Administration and Finance, and you've been on the council for a number of terms now. You're kind of like a veteran, right?
I'd like to think so, yes.
Yeah.
How many terms, Colin? How many terms?
I'm in my fifth term.
Fifth term.
So he's in his 10th year.
10th year.
Right. So we're the elite counselors.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Sure.
you're going to
Sure.
start some issues, right? Now you're gonna start some issues.
Wow.
They're on. You know what?
Yeah.
I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Well,
You know I have regular
Tim
communication-
Jordan's not, but he's on his way.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, you know I have regular communication with Tom Sullivan and Melinda, so you guys are putting me in a precarious position.
No.
There's enough room for them?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, we haven't set the bar where elite
One of your favorite
starts.
9 councilors, right?
That's right. I
think elite
I
starts-
seriously like 9 of the 9
I
councilors.
think we got a great city
Sure.
council, all of us.
Decent. You know what it is about the council?
That's why.
Even if you disagree, fundamentally, everybody on the council is decent.
Right.
And that's important.
And has knowledge. And I
Right.
think that, as you can't just get on
Right.
and immediately know everything. So
No.
the longer you serve, the
No,
more
but
you
there's
know.
there's an
But
underpinning of basic decency and
Common
trying to do
sense.
the right thing.
And common sense,
And
yeah.
that's important today.
I agree. I
Well,
agree.
I hope the voters,
So I
they
think, you know what,
that, and that's what they
I
do.
hope anybody that's thinking about running and is listening knows that the 9 of us are running again, and they should just save their money and their time and not run.
Wow.
Wow. You get away with a lot on this show, can't
It's
you?
my
First
show.
Amendment.
It's my
First-
show.
It's your show.
That's right.
There's that whole First Amendment thing. That a boy. You go ahead, Bill.
And I, right now, I have, I don't know if I'm running, so I can say stuff now. I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't declared that
That's
I'm
right.
running.
You've made no decision. What
Right.
about yourself,
So I haven't
Counselor?
either, so that means I
Then
can
we-
say
you
anything
can
else.
Here's
say
your big
anything you
chance for
want.
both
That's
of
right.
you.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to tell the listening audience, gentlemen?
I'm
No,
considering
I-
running for office.
You heard it right here first on WHAV.
There you go, right?
He's considering running for
Considering.
re-election.
I
I said for
what?
Oh, he did say for
For
office.
office.
What I say is I haven't decided.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We can't do anything. You can't even go get papers if you wanted to run, right?
No, not
So-
yet.
Anyway, it's
What you could do is you could announce it here on WHAV on the open mic show. You could.
You
yeah,
could announce?
You could.
Then
Yeah,
I'm
you could
there.
announce right now.
yeah.
Sure.
I will be sure to
It's
do
early in
that.
the show. Maybe I'm going to hold that, tease that a little later.
There you
Yeah,
go.
sure.
That's right.
Is that how you do it, Ralph? Is
There's
that-
another 36 minutes to go, Counselor.
If somebody
He
wants-
is a quick learner.
If somebody would like to call in, let me give you the phone number, 978-374-1900. Real simple. Call us up on the Open Mic Show. We're here every Monday night. Ralph and I are here every Monday night, and we have great guests like City Councilor Colin LePage. Next hour, we're going to have people, members from the Asperger Works. Asperger Works. I already bought
Yes.
my ticket to their big dinner that they have coming
Oh,
up.
what's
Yeah.
that?
It's coming up on Dinner of Hope. It's called. It's at Maria's Function Hall.
Oh, beautiful.
I love that place, and that's going to be on April 13th. So
Beautiful. April 13th.
Yeah.
At Maria's.
at Maria's. That's right. All right, that's for next hour though. But we'll talk about it
Righto.
more next hour. Colin, what else? What else? You have your list of things.
I had a
'Cause I
couple of
asked
things
you to
here.
bring in a bullet point list.
Yeah, and I was kind of late and just jotted it down really quick.
That's okay.
That's okay.
fine.
We can
I'm
wing
okay
it.
with that because
And
I know
Ralph's
that,
been reading over my
I know
shoulder, so
between
I
the-
could actually read it, so it's helpful
I
to
know
me.
between the three of us there would never be a dead air.
I hope not.
No.
So, or dead anything. But so.
Well,
said
that's
the
a
budget?
it's a radio term.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
When there's like nothing going out over the airwaves.
Yeah,
Right.
it's actually the
So-
worst feeling in the world when you're on radio. Yeah, when nothing happens.
The seconds.
It's like a vapor
The
lock.
seconds feel like minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Unlike a city council meeting.
What
where it's constantly going.
It always
The lights
going.
are always
People-
lit up.
People are jumping in even when they're not called
But they can't
on.
call in though, right?
Uh,
Not yet.
well,
actually,
the
you
council
call
show,
in
thank
remotely,
God.
so you
I
can-
call in.
councils-
I when I'm away,
don't have
I
that.
often
Not
call
like
in.
this, right? People can
you
call in.
you've done that.
No, the
People call
public
in
can't
tonight.
call in.
No, we
public
we don't
cannot call
have
in.
that.
They can come.
Yeah.
We should think about that though.
We should not think about that. Listen, as someone who has upheld and defended the Constitution of America and loves the First Amendment, should not think about people calling into the council meeting.
Well, actually, we have great public participation regulations right now in our rules, right? I
We
mean, I
do.
think we've got 4 different ways people can speak, and including just downloading a form or going to the clerk's office, and they fill out what they'd like to talk about. You don't need to be introduced by a city councilor, although sometimes they are. That
Right.
used to be the way, but we now have this new way to just fill out a form. You can even do it online, and whammo, you're on the city council agenda.
So you know my favorite.
And you know if you're there, Ralph, if you put your hand up on a topic, if the president sees your
Right.
hand, he will call on you.
Some months ago, I was watching, and a fellow was sitting there with a sign saying something like, "Council President is violating my First Amendment right."
Something.
And
like
he's holding it up on TV, which is actually exercising his First Amendment right. Which, so the double entendre struck me as very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it ain't easy.
No, well, God bless America.
Yeah, right. All right, Colin, what's your next item?
What do we got, Councilor?
Did we finish with solar? We're done with solar, right?
We can return to it if you want.
I'm okay with it. I think we're gonna address it.
We're all for it.
We don't even know where we're really gonna end up, but we're gonna at least do, once again, our due diligence. It's an older ordinance. Technology has changed. I don't think it properly addresses sidelines and lot lines for the project in consideration of a residential district. I think we should make them a little bit larger. So
I'm very interested to hear what the city solicitor will say about the ordinance and the moratorium and that. I'm always interested to see what the city solicitor
we get
says.
all the opinions and,
of course,
weigh everything out.
Of course,
and make a good. You know what? We only make a recommendation. The full council will then make the final decision. So,
but it's good. I think one of the things that you want, though,
it's a great process,
is that you put them on places also that aren't taking up better uses of that land.
Correct.
Right? So the landfill is one, as you said. Unfortunately, that's been hung up not because of this ordinance and other things, through other negotiations.
That's going to cut a couple open permits.
It's my understanding it's on its way.
Yeah, Concom, we've seen that at the Conservation Commission and sent it along in recent months. I expect to see solar panels.
It's in the pipeline.
But in some of these cases, you wouldn't want to also have a solar farm plop right in the middle of the neighborhood, unless it's land that you can't really build upon.
Well, that's the way I feel, and I think our ordinance does not properly protect those neighborhoods. I mean, the people in that area are the one that was up on Broadway, the roadway, all fairly new houses within the last, I'd say, 2 to 7 years, probably on Catherine Drive. They're $500,000.
Is it Kristen?
Kristen Drive.
Well, I've heard from
they're like $500,000 and up homes. They're gorgeous houses. The street's so nicely laid out.
Do you know what? I could be wrong. I think they're going to load the day they oppose the solar panels for what they might get, and I could be wrong. I don't have any. Yeah, well, I may very well be wrong, and it's okay to think
because it has to come to the council. Whatever is trying to go there, whether it's a special permit for housing or whether it's another solar project. But let me just tell you, one of the things in that ordinance says that it has to be, like highest and best possible use of the property, and that's almost a subjective decision. But when you
make the best decisions you can with the information you have in front of you.
Exactly. And you know what? The information I have in front of me is at 6:31. That means we've got to take another
time for a break.
Yeah, right here.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Show. We'll be back with more.
There we go.
With our guests Bill Macek and Ralph Basilier and our guest Colin LePage from the Haverhill City Council. And we're right here if you want to call, 978-374-1900. We will take your call, unlike the City Council.
Wow. And there it is.
We were just talking about that, right?
That's right. There it is.
All right, right here, 978-374-1900 on the Open Mic Show on 97.9 WHAV.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
It's 6:32.
Boston stations aren't tuned into the Merrimack Valley, but you are. 97.9 FM has your local wave weather around the clock. Keep it here on 97.9 FM, WHAV.
How does one man get himself into so many impossible situations? This is a question you'll probably ask yourself when you follow another hilarious adventure of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Yes, Gildy's eye for the ladies and his impulsive temperament managed to entangle him in a web of riotous circumstances. Join the romantic water commissioner, his neighbors, Judge Hooker, Mr. Peavy, and all the loyal Gildersleeve household as they romp through another episode of The Great Gildersleeve.
Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. on WHAV.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill in the Merrimack Valley. Not a cloud in the sky tonight and cold with a low at 20 degrees. Just a 4-mile-per-hour northwesterly breeze, increasing to upwards 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine once again with a high around 41. Clear in the low 20s come calling for Tuesday night. And high pressure sticking around, allowing for full sunshine. Temperatures top off in the middle 40s for Wednesday. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we're back on the Open Mic Show, 6:34. Our guest this hour is Haverhill City Councilor Colin LePage, and we've been having a very lively, spirited discussion, I think. Don't you think, Ralph?
I think the discussion has been great.
What do you think,
You don't want
Colin?
it to be interrupted
You've been
by
okay?
phone calls? Is that what you're saying?
No, we'll take phone calls.
We'll take phone calls.
No, I said we take phone calls.
Oh, okay.
It's the city council that doesn't
I'm
take
aware,
phone
I'm
calls.
aware.
And even though I would maybe entertain that, and Ralph says no.
Ralph says no.
Ralph wouldn't.
City council take phone calls? No, I think that would be a bad
could have-
idea.
we could have-
and whether you guys admit it or not, you don't want it either.
No. We could have to orchestrate it. We have to figure out how's the best way to do it.
Well, we actually have a couple of things, though.
We could have just
So we have a subcommittee, we have a citizen outreach committee that
Correct.
we've talked about, that we've had people come and just basically list off things and come talk about budget items or things that they're missing also. Actually, I believe that might be happening sometime soon so that we can get public input. So
Right.
instead of just the phone call in or being on the agenda, you could just come to this meeting or send an email.
But we get
to find
emails
out what
all the
people think
time.
that we aren't talking about at this moment now, or no. There's some things, different folks bring different things to us. The high school track became an issue, and that was brought in from outside.
Right, and then we advocate.
Right, and that's part of our job also is
It is.
for people to help us make us aware of things that we haven't been or haven't seen or something hasn't been fully done yet, or something new comes up. So we have issues. You said we should talk about marijuana because you want to get people to call in. So that's another thing that's being talked about within the city, and some of the possible issues that might happen with that. Parking has been one of those ones that seems to be talked about. You talk about development down on Merrimack Street and such. So there's always, we talk about planning.
Well, that was one of
what's
the that
parking
was
that's gonna
the
happen.
zone we cut out, and maybe somebody will. I think we're at the point now that there's so many companies that want to come to Haverhill that we will probably be approached to either create an additional zone or two for their location. I heard it was 15 people looking for the last 3 slots. 15, not people, but it could be people. but
15 entities.
15 entities,
Well,
right.
one of the things that we didn't, in my opinion, fully do is talk about cultivation and stuff. We made spots for mostly retail establishments,
Right.
storefronts, that also could be manufacturers and stuff like that, but I've been hearing things that cultivators, large-scale cultivators who would
Right.
take up or build warehouse space for cultivation,
Right.
want to come in. They wouldn't fit into most of the zones that we've created, because the
Right,
zones
we might have to
created-
create a new zone.
Right. We
Right.
created
I actually
zones
had
out
a
of the-
call from somebody, maybe you heard from the same person, he had like 80 acres and he had
Yes.
been approached.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
we did
all for
commercial
it.
highway. Commercial
Well,
highway is
he
what
said
we
it
set
would
up.
bring in at least, he thought around 35 jobs. So it's
Yeah.
it's employment too. And he said they're not cheap jobs.
No, these are people being paid well.
Yeah.
Who are there 2 and 3 shifts a day.
Yeah.
365 days a year. I know someone actually incidentally worked in a marijuana cultivating place here in Massachusetts, and it's quite a respectable, decent job.
And the state has such tough regulations that there's no hanky-panky, but like they shut down Healthy Farms
had an
down
issue, I
in,
believe, with pesticides.
in Georgetown
Said-
because microscopic amount of pesticide they found.
Yeah, it's really,
So
I
another
mean,
business-
This is
it's
clean.
pharmaceutical grade, really.
That's the one thing that I think is good about retail marijuana is that you're not buying from a street dealer that might be lacing it with some other drug or something else.
Or it's full of manure.
Right, exactly. I didn't want to say that, Ralph, but
Well,
it could
if
be.
you need someone to say manure, I'm your guy.
All right.
That's why I'm here. All the dirty work, Colin. No respect.
Somebody's going to do it.
No respect.
Somebody's going to do it.
So, but I think that that's something to be considered.
Yeah, the 495 belt and our proximity to New Hampshire, there's two things right now that are really helping Haverhill and its proximity to New Hampshire, or three things. We're over the course of history, we've been seeing like the sales tax and kind of hurt us. But our cheaper meals tax, our being on the 495 belt, and our with retail marijuana being on the 495 belt,
right?
And believe it or not, our access to water puts us at a big advantage.
You're right.
Of all the New Hampshire towns around us.
Yeah.
And when I say water, I literally
water
mean
and sewerage
the stuff in the river.
Water and sewerage is why all the restaurants are on our side of the border as you go up Route 125.
Right, that and the lesser restaurant tax. You're absolutely right. In fact, the restaurants in Plasto, we do feed water into Plasto just a couple hundred yards.
Back when I was a kid, they stole our water on a Sunday.
Of course they did.
With a backhoe, connected it to that side, and unfortunately somehow, and I don't know how it got a court order, but there was a court decision. Some judge said that they could not be disconnected.
Well, there you go. At least we're charging them for the water.
Well, I think they're charging 2 and 3 times, depending which place. I think they added a few more on in that new plaza. And so they got the old stuff, I think, at the regular rate, whatever they were paying. But now they're paying, I think, 2 or 3 times our regular rate. So it's a premium. But you know what? We're fortunate, as you said. Now we're going to have the riverbank wells that are going to, and they're not drawing right from the Merrimack.
That's a misnomer.
Right, it's all through the ground.
So what it is
naturally filtered.
It's groundwater that is under the influence of surface water and has been filtered by 85 feet of stuff that if we had to pay for would cost us hundreds of millions.
And then it's going to go to our water treatment plant anyway. It's going to get polished again there.
You know what I'd like to do in addition to that? Get a pipeline into Plasto before Manchester does. For the city. I'd like to sell water to Plasto.
That's a mayoral decision.
Oh, that's even beyond that. It's a federal decision.
Not a council, but I think that—that's a possibility.
Yeah,
we already do service a portion of Groveland.
Yeah,
with water. So, okay.
What do you got, Councilor?
Let's not forget we have a guest here.
That's
Ralph.
right.
You and I are just here, John.
Councilor LePage, what's next?
Councilor LePage is out of the conversation.
No, whatever you want.
What else you got? What else you got here? Something. What's going to get the phones to ring?
I don't know. I was trying with
the. I know.
Ralph told me the pot was.
I thought cannabis. I used the. By the way, I used the scientific word cannabis for it. I don't use marijuana. I do use pot, the slang, but yeah, I use cannabis.
Okay. That's fine.
Or you use the term.
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. I mean.
Good.
Why not?
So look,
as long as I'm not driving.
All right. Here's. I'll throw out a question.
No one cares about a 52-year-old guy with arthritis.
One of the things we haven't done our due diligence on, because the state has not done the regulations for, but the last thing that's coming down the road that we're going to have to work on is consumption, as it's called, and that's public. Instead of a alcohol bar, we're going to have the equivalent of a pot bar. And do we want that in Haverhill? Are we worried about impaired driving? How are we going to control it if we do have it? And then again, we'll have to decide where we're going to allow it.
Impaired driving is definitely your concern, your primary concern. I agree.
So if somebody has a thought on that, for or against consumption, give us a call, 978-374-1900. Now back to our guest, Colin LePage.
So as you're saying, so the legislature is looking at, as far as impairment,
right,
how to measure that. So some of the things when we talked about cultivation, also we started to talk about manufacturing and also testing labs.
Right.
There's a lot of money, since there's very few of these testing labs. There's a lot of places that want to open up, but a testing lab, again, as you said, with cultivation, is a high science, and there's a lot to be done.
It is
in that. And they say if you're the one who comes up with the cannabis breathalyzer, was able to do that to measure impairment in such a quick way, that, well, there's a fortune to be made with that.
An absolute fortune, yeah.
Right. I heard that there was a.
And if we,
there was,
if
you're
we can
probably
attract
aware of
those
this,
kind of
Colin.
entrepreneurs to Haverhill who, are working in the science and
Well, that's one of the
chemicals and
things
stuff
we're
like
looking to do is bring in
between
entrepreneurs.
UMass,
Now there was a committee. I think they wanted to stay on with CCC, Cannabis Control Commission for the state, but they made 19 recommendations. One of them was, and the governor I know supports this now, is to have the same requirements for impaired driving if you refuse a mouth swab.
Mm-hmm.
If you refuse a mouth swab, your license is suspended for 6 months. Just like if you refuse to take a breathalyzer, your license is suspended for 6 months. So that has not passed through the House and Senate here in Massachusetts, but hopefully it will, because I think that's a very good recommendation.
Right, and they're also going through training of officers to see, just like they do with the sobriety test,
Right.
not just a breathalyzer, say, okay, what is it that when you're under the influence of cannabis or any other drugs, what is it that you see? And I guess there's little differences of how you
Right.
look or how you act. Either, I think, I saw some with the eye movement and such, that they're able to do that. And I think we have officers training in that now through the force to be able to say this is someone who's has a problem. We don't want to have people on the roads who
Right.
are impaired.
I know.
That's
We
true.
don't- We don't. One of the things I heard that they're also going to be watching for impaired driving, due to smoking pot, is that when they're driving maybe 30, 40 miles an hour max on 495.
That would be kind of an indication.
That's an
do you think?
indication,
Yeah.
right.
There's
Then you
something-
got-
or you're
yeah.
falling asleep at the
Yeah,
wheel.
'cause they're
Something's
all-
going
Then you went
on.
to the shop and asked for something to
Right.
put you in low and slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, just it's funny, but it's probably true. But there's going to be some things like that going on. I mean,
There was a big
maybe,
uptick.
and when they say a lot of, oh man, come on, dude, you're not really going to bust me. That's probably another good indication.
Yeah. Also, what you never want to do is say to a cop, "Do you know who I am?" Because they're probably not impressed.
No.
Right. But
They will when they look at your license or registration.
Oh,
right?
please no.
I would just say I'm Ralph Basilier.
I love. There's always room under the bus, so I don't mind you guys throwing me there.
Hey, well, you know what? Before we go on, 6:45,
Break.
it's break time on the Open Mic Show, and we'll be right back with our guest, Colin LePage, right here on 97.9 FM WHAV.
Open mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
Know what's happening. Sign up for your free Wavelengths newsletter. Online all the time at WHAV.net and 24/7 on 97.9 WHAV-FM.
Catch the wave.
Melinda's Garden Moments help gardeners create and maintain a healthy, beautiful garden with ease, inside or out and all year long. This is Melinda Myers, inviting you to tune in every weekday morning, right here on WHAV. You'll learn creative ways to grow your own vegetables and herbs while beautifying your landscape. Eco-friendly lawn care, flower garden design basics, unique container gardens, attracting birds and butterflies to the landscape, and much more. Again, please join me weekday mornings for Melinda's Garden Moment for a very environmentally friendly approach to gardening. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we're back on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek here, along with Ralph Basilier, and our special guest for this hour, Colin LePage, and nobody's called in yet. This probably means that everybody's happy with you, Colin. So nobody has
Is that what it
anything.
is?
It could be a good sign.
Nothing to challenge you on.
Could be a good
they're
sign.
just they're just listening to the wealth of information you bring forward. What
Wow,
are you
you're
doing?
really good at
What are
this.
you doing tomorrow night?
Yeah, did you co-sign a couple things for tomorrow night?
You got stuff
I
on the
did.
agenda tomorrow night. I had a big week last week. Now it's your week.
Oh, thank you.
That's
there you
all right.
go.
Right. We timed this, right? Is that how we
Yeah.
do this?
No, it just
No,
happens.
so it
just happens. Yeah.
So, a couple of things that I've co-signed on for if you want to call it. They're not bills in front of us, but
Yeah.
just a couple of things we'll talk about is one, Councilor Sullivan and I want to talk about what they call the foundation budget, how they establish what they're going to give, what the state is going to give the city for education and such.
Now, the mayor's pushing for more, though.
He's pushing, and I think everyone is pushing for more.
I agree.
So the school committee took this resolution up a couple months ago.
Right.
And I believe quite a few communities have. The mayor, as you said, was in
He was
front
in
of
Boston,
City Hall.
yeah.
At the state legislature on Friday. Advocating
yeah.
for it. And so we're
Yeah.
this is just hopefully something that the rest of the council just get behind. It's just basically a resolution saying that we encourage and endorse that you fund properly for Haverhill. Help us out amongst all the other, and the gateway communities are the ones who are supposed to see a higher percentage of money coming to them to help us with, being an urban
Right.
school and the challenges that we have. So more money in from the state would be great.
It sounded like there was great support. Even Boston Mayor Walsh was there.
He was there advocating also.
I think
this formula has been around for 25 years, and it's kind of like other things. It's out of date.
Time to update it, just like the solar ordinance.
It's updating things, and as you know,
Yeah.
things change, right?
Right, things change. We got to address.
We have the internet now. We have things happen that over time have to be reevaluated and looked at and reviewed and updated. So it's just
That's one of the things.
One of the things to look to do, and then part of it also is Councilor Jordan and I have two school committee members who were speaking.
I saw that
coming. Attorney Rich Roser and Gail Sullivan.
Right.
And they're going to also speak about what they call the Haverhill Promise, which is to be young
kids.
Education, getting kids to
I'm
read.
100%. We're
grade
all 100%
level.
behind it.
So what happens?
I think that's my favorite initiative going on
Yeah.
right now throughout the city.
Get kids
That's so important.
to a grade level.
Yeah.
Grade 3, they have to be reading well.
At the level they should be. So
Right.
every time that they're behind, it's just so much more time and money to try to catch them up.
If they ever catch up, it also can
Right.
sometimes almost snafu their life and career because they never catch up, so they really can't compete for
if education is
jobs.
going to be the great equalizer in our
Yeah.
society, and frankly I feel it should be, then this initiative, I'm glad you guys are behind it because it's exactly what we need.
100%. And we were also Colin was there. I think 6 of the councilors were at the Latino Coalition, which was on Saturday at the library for a couple
That's
hours.
right.
And they were talking about, our superintendent was there, and they were talking about school issues. School is so important. Anybody that says, "Oh, I don't have any kids. Why do I have to pay taxes for schools?" Because you do. Because somebody educated
they're the
you
ones at some
Right.
point in time who are going to be paying for your care later on.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
You're paying it forward,
and we
so
want the best educated kids coming out of
they're the
Haverhill
ones going to be
school
making the
system.
decisions later on. So we want them to be educated.
Yeah.
so they make
Takes
good
a village.
decisions, right? You don't want to have folks who aren't educated making decisions
Right.
just without having all the data and going through it and saying this is what's the best course.
I agree with you. Having the dumb people make the decisions is a bad idea.
Thank
Right.
you.
You're welcome.
So, and what
Is that what
but
I
Haverhill
said?
has a
That's
great.
what I heard.
That's how you paraphrase
That's
it?
how I heard it.
Haverhill has a great group of parents that care, and I think we're going to do okay. Because
I like the model of both the Tilton and the high school, how things really turned around there.
But there were changes made to make it happen, and that's what we want to continue
Exactly.
doing in
Yeah.
other schools and throughout the
So
city.
if it worked there, let's have a look at it and see how we can
Exactly.
You have to
make it work
recognize
elsewhere, right?
and where you need to put staff.
And that's one of the
what
areas we're going to
challenges
need
are.
to maybe fund with city money, because last year we got a grant for it, what was done at Tilton.
Right.
But it's worth doing. It proved itself.
Right, and that's so.
And if-
to go on another thing that we talked when I had it on the agenda last week was some of this funding coming from the cannabis is going to things that we show. So, such as a drug counselor working with the police. Well, we didn't receive the burn grant money, so since we didn't have the money, doesn't mean we don't have the problem. We just need to fund it another way.
Correct.
So we can't just say, the grant ran out. That was nice, but the idea of a grant is to get you to realize that you need to have this service, whatever it is that you provided. The grant is kind of like seed money to get you going with it.
And we are going to have that additional money when the cannabis shops open. As soon as they open, they'll start
That's
selling,
what
and
my
we
thing
get
is to make sure that it doesn't fall into one big general
Well,
fund, that it gets a portion with debate and all with the council and the mayor
has to
where
be.
it goes
It's
to.
earmarked money, so we just have to decide where it goes.
Right.
I think that's the way I feel about it. Yeah, I think the state requires us to
They do.
direct it towards
There's
something
an
that's
accounting
cannabis
also.
related.
Right. It has to mitigate an offset, whatever
Right.
cost, so you say, this is what happened. If it's traffic, if it's issues in the neighborhood, if it's education with kids for prevention,
Counselors,
diversion,
that's where the
not
counselors
happening.
come in, the nurses,
Right.
all that stuff. So
like we have UTech helping out as far as giving
Yeah.
kids another pass so they don't fall off by not being able to read. They sometimes fall into gangs and other things because they don't see that they have a profession going elsewhere.
Right.
Not going to go to college, not going to maybe get that job as a plumber and all. I just read about Northern Essex, not Whittier, but Northern Essex turn around. They don't have enough spots for kids. So what do? If there's not enough places to go, kids unfortunately are left out.
Right.
And when they're left out, that's causes some of the issues that we have.
It does.
And that's where, when you say that the older taxpayers say, where's my money? Well, if it's not going to educate them, well, they turn into these other problems, maybe with drugs and crime that you don't want to have in the city.
Idle minds.
I think when you teach someone to read at the grade level, you'll never be able to keep them down. I think it's
part of it, Ralph.
the
It
priority.
really, it's proven.
Yeah,
It's proven.
it really is.
The
I'm
statistics
not
are
a
there.
genius saying this.
Yeah, the statistics are there. So, we're together on all this stuff, Colin, and I think the council is. There isn't a whole lot of argument, by most of us.
But as you know,
there-
sometimes we have differences.
There's differences of opinions.
on different things that we
Right.
should do. And
But
all
that's
these other
healthy.
things.
That's democracy.
Oh, that's the way it should be.
You know,
I wouldn't want
I've
it
been
to be.
saying for years, I want Haverhill to be a model city, and these are the kind of things that are helping us become that model city, where other communities look at us and see the way we do it and what we're doing, and they'll mimic it, which is a high form of flattery. So I'd love to see more
If
of
we don't
that.
have healthy debates over differences, then we don't come up with solutions. We're just kind of following one path and say, maybe there's another way of doing this.
That's right.
Didn't see that other opportunity.
So that's what you're doing tomorrow on the agenda.
That's what we have.
And Mitchison, our president, is going to be bringing up the debt we have in our pension system, which I think, you can't bury your head in the sand on this stuff.
Well, kick the can down the road, as they say.
Right. So it's going to be a good council meeting tomorrow night. So it'll be right here and live on WHAV radio and WHAV Facebook page, and also it'll be on HC Media. So it'll be in a lot of places. So in fairness, it's well
to the other media.
It's well
outlets.
available. Yeah. Right. So we're on HC Media now. I think. Right? Are we on tonight? Ralph?
I hope not, because I didn't get a haircut.
Over here. Oh, no, I don't think we are.
No, I don't think we're on tonight.
No? Okay, well, sometimes we are, but otherwise, people can always get us at 97.9 FM.
You know what
on
is
our
on
regular
soon?
radio. They can get us on the WHAV Facebook page. Then we stream there. We stream on WHAV.net. So many different places. You can just find this open mic show in the whole WHAV program throughout the week. So it's good stuff. Hey, it's coming up, Colin. It's 6:56. You got 4 minutes left. If you want to announce your candidacy,
This is the time to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Councilor Colin LePage.
if you have anything,
I have enjoyed my time on the council. I've greatly appreciated all the support that I've had, and I hope to continue to do better and more things for the city. I enjoy the job an awful lot, and I'm just kind of curious.
and
as
if you
to what's
decide to
going
run, you
on.
hope people will support you.
I in whatever office that I choose to seek.
Oh,
Well, there you go. He's
Oh.
actually considering
So-
different offices.
well, the only other office
I like that.
in Haverhill would be mayor.
No, there's
others?
There's
Did-
others.
So the school committee, if you wanted to make that change.
You could go to the school committee.
It's
And you know that pretty well. Yeah.
depends on how the field is and where the needs
You're
are.
gonna so you're gonna weigh it out. Okay.
You have to look and see.
So is it fair to say, based
on
on your
No.
comments tonight, that you actually are considering
He's
a
looking-
run
he's
for a
looking.
different office?
Sounds like he might be.
It's in your wheelhouse. It's in your
Yeah.
your list of probabilities.
I look to be a public servant. So
Do-
I've done as you're a volunteer. I've done volunteer
Right.
work.
Yeah.
I was very involved in baseball.
Right.
With the Riverside Bradford. I was
Absolutely.
involved with. Some don't know this, but with Haverhill Girls Softball for a couple of years, I was involved with them. Been a member of Team Haverhill. So whatever the needs are for the city, and where if there's also
Whatever the people want.
in baseball,
Wherever you
in
think you
baseball,
can
in
best
baseball, you
serve.
can't have 5 shortstops on the field at
Right.
one time. So you have to have folks who have different roles and to do different things to make the whole thing work.
Right. Now, you're not thinking about trying to, be a tight end for the Patriots. They need one of those.
So that's very sad to see that we need one and all.
I know.
Like that.
You're not probably tall enough.
A little height challenge in that regard.
But you could probably block well. You could probably be a good blocker, like Gronk was.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could do that. I wouldn't be able to make all those acrobatic catches by any means.
But you're probably maybe not as brittle as
a lot of people say that I look like Gronk. No one's ever said that. Come on. My God, that was just dead. That was 3 seconds of dead air time right there.
I'm taking a close look. What?
Yeah.
What? That was.
No one's ever said that, but I did meet him once.
You did?
I did. I met him at Foxwoods about 4 years ago on a Sunday afternoon.
You had to look up to him, huh?
Yeah, I did. Just nice kid. I said, hi, how are you? And that was it. Shook hands.
Yeah, but I mean like this. Yeah. Look up.
When you've been on the open mic show, you don't go gaga over other celebrities.
That's right.
I
mean, look, Ralph, you're working with me.
That's right. Exactly.
A career. A lifetime in radio.
The special guests that you have come in.
And these special guests, right.
Right.
But I will give you that autograph after.
I hope so. I've been asking for months.
Yeah, and you had my picture. I don't know why. That was a little creepy.
Well, it's been a good hour, Colin. It's really, will you come back again if you have time?
Especially if you have an announcement.
When you're going to announce,
I'm actually intrigued.
When are you going to announce your either your school committee bid or your city? Are you tired of the city council, Colin?
I'm not tired of it. I enjoy it very much.
We would miss you.
Going forward, do you feel you still have a role?
If you think that's the right thing to do,
I think I've done it. I would like to, humbly think I've learned the job over time.
Yeah.
It's not something.
Yeah.
Not my first term. My 5th term. I've done that. I still want to serve. If it's something that there's a void or a vacancy that needs to be filled, just like taking over a subcommittee and other things, I'm always open to looking at things.
I give you a
lot of
credit
is public service
for having
at its
that
best.
thought. For having that thought process.
That's unselfish.
And you're going to weigh it out. You're going to see what the field is, and there you go. Hey, we just hit 7 o'clock. We got to go. Thank you for coming in, Colin. Always a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow night at the council. And Ralph, anything you want to say? Because we've got to wrap up here.
No, just happy to be here, and waiting to hear what Councilor LePage is going to do next.
All right, and we'll be right back with the
suspense
second
is
hour
killing me.
Right here on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
It's 7:01.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Here's the latest WHAV news. I'm Wynn Damon. Haverhill's long-term debt of more than $78 million, and what to do about it is one focus of tomorrow night's City Council meeting. Mayor James Fiorentini is expected to address the public about the lingering effects of the failure of the city-owned Hale Hospital almost 20 years ago. In his request to speak to councilors, the mayor called the liability, quote, the largest municipal debt in the history of the Commonwealth. According to figures released last summer, the city still owes $4.5 million on deficits related to the hospital. The remaining debt is related to school construction, water and sewer costs, and other borrowing. Fiorentini said he specifically wants to discuss continuing state aid. Over the years, former State Representative Brian Dempsey delivered $22 million in additional state aid to help pay down the hospital debt. Last year, freshman Representative Andy Vargas was able to obtain $340,000 in special city aid, considered substantial for a legislator of then only 5 months. However, it was far from the $2.4 million that Dempsey, once chair of the Powerful Ways and Means Committee, obtained most years. The city previously justified seeking state aid to help pay down the losses because the hospital served a region much larger than the city. Haverhill sold the hospital to Essent Healthcare, the only bidder, for a $3.5 million deal. Haverhill retained construction debt and employee pension and health insurance liabilities and settled its lawsuit against Quorum, its outside management company, for $2.8 million. The city acquired Hale Hospital in 1931 when its then private owners declared the business insolvent. The city made various improvements to a series of buildings on Buttonwoods Avenue before building and opening a new campus in 1984 on Lincoln Avenue. City debt figures don't include the estimated $165 million to cover previous and future retiree pensions including those accumulated by the Hale Hospital. Council President John Mitchison is also expected to address the council on what he termed, quote, Haverhill's large retirement debt. He's asking for an action plan. Haverhill Mayor James Fiorentini joined mayors from across the Commonwealth Friday to implore the Joint Committee on Education to reconsider a decades-old funding formula that puts certain cities and districts at a disadvantage. Joining Fiorentini for the hearing were Boston Mayor Marty Walsh and Lawrence Mayor Daniel Rivera, among others, who spoke to the committee. That included Haverhill State Representative Andy Vargas. Fiorentini was quick to acknowledge Haverhill's school success, but reasoned that more must be done.
Haverhill, Massachusetts has shown what can happen with some of the additional funding that is proposed here today, and I'm proud to be here to support this bill.
Friday's hearing was the first step in a possible overhaul of the 25-year-old Chapter 70 funding formula that calculates a budget for each school district based on enrollment, student demographics, and other factors to determine the minimum funding required to support the city's educational efforts. Any revisions must be voted into law before the end of July. And the Massachusetts Department of Transportation has announced another round of lane closures planned for tomorrow through Thursday as the bridge replacement project progresses on 495. Single-lane closures are expected between exits 48 and 49 during the hours of 6 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, and work is weather-dependent, and drivers are asked to look for signage and reduce speed through the construction area. And Methuen police are reporting the 2 arrests late Thursday night netted an illegal firearm and fentanyl, along with 2 suspects. Chief Joseph Solomon says that with the assistance of a regional SWAT team and mutual aid, they responded to a disturbance at 91 Broadway. Taken into custody were 39-year-old Jorge Velez and 34-year-old German Rivera, both of Methuen. Rivera is being held without bail. He's scheduled to be back in court on Wednesday for a dangerousness hearing. Velez was released on bail and is scheduled to be back in court this week. In WHAV sports, the Boston Bruins are at Tampa Bay tonight. The Celtics have the night off, and the Red Sox have an exhibition game against the Cubs tonight. Sox are going to be opening up their regular season schedule Thursday night in Seattle. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source, and there's always more at WHAV.net, where you can sign up for the free newsletter and learn about membership options. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Wynn Damon.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. President Trump says his opponents who did treasonous things are evil and should be looked at following the conclusions of the Mueller probe. UK Prime Minister Theresa May says she will not be bringing her Brexit deal back to the UK's House of Commons for a vote Tuesday. And Apple has unveiled an expansive strategy to build services for the billions of iPhones and iPads in use.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill in the Merrimack Valley. Not a cloud in the sky tonight and cold with a low at 20 degrees. Just a 4-mile-per-hour northwesterly breeze, increasing upwards 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine once again with a high around 41. Clear in the low 20s come calling for Tuesday night. And high pressure sticking around, allowing for full sunshine. Temperatures top off in the middle 40s for Wednesday. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Turn up 97.9 WHAV in your car and anywhere on your phone. Online all the time at WHAV.net. On air 24/7. Your local wave. 97.9 WHAV FM.
WHAV Merrimack Valley Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are into the second hour here on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek along with Ralph Basilier. And this hour we have a couple of guests from Eva and Daniel, and they're from the Asperger's work. Asperger Works, right?
Yes.
Asperger Works. And we're going to, before we get going on all the things we want to talk about, including your Dinner of Hope, which is coming up, we want to draw from our big cowboy hat to see who the winner is for this month. Somebody who's born in the next month, and we can take your calls, and Chris, our producer, will take your information anytime. So right now, if you have a birthday in May, call in, or an anniversary in May, call in 978-374-1900 and put the name in the hat. So you might win a cake from LBD's second generation Italian bakery.
Now, the 10-gallon hat, once worn by John Wayne when he started in the Sands of Iwo Jima, is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
I thought so.
We have a different hat every week, but I mean every month. But we would like one of you to draw out a name, and we will say who the winner is in our big 10-gallon hat, LBD's second generation Italian bakery, located right in Bradford Square. And they have great cakes, and they also have other great things. You want to? Can you read the handwriting?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay, well then just let people know who you've picked.
It's a birthday, Ryan Holy.
Ryan Holy from where?
18 Edge Hill Road, Haverhill.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
So winner.
Great. Thank you for, I guess it's probably his birthday.
Yes. Brian?
It's his birthday, and Ryan. Ryan is our winner this month. We'll make sure
congratulations.
that Ryan gets his...
Congratulations,
congratulations, Ryan.
The open mic show where you can have your cake
and
eat it too.
Happy birthday. That's right.
Yes.
So we'll give that to our producer, and he'll make sure that they get their... Ryan gets a certificate to go to LBD's and pick up his cake.
Wow, congratulations.
Pretty cool, huh?
Good news.
Yep. And you know what, Ralph? You and I can never win.
No, I can't win.
No, we're never going to win.
You don't know how much that hurts a fat guy.
All right. Seems like you have done some homework and brought in your notes. Unfortunately, I don't have them, so Ralph has my copy, or a copy. So
I have copies on actually other things, so we're going to go with what they say.
All right, let's let them go. Okay.
So I guess we could start with,
all
for those who don't know, what is Asperger's?
Okay, so this time I actually wrote it out so that I will have more of a scientific than the gut kind of an answer to the question.
Okay.
So Asperger's syndrome is a developmental disorder that is characterized by significant difficulties in social interaction and nonverbal communication, along with restricted and repetitive pattern of behavior and interest. It is a milder form of autism spectrum disorder, with most ASPs having average or above average intelligence. It differs from other ASDs by autism spectrum disorders by relatively normal language and intelligence. Although not required for diagnosis, often physical clumsiness and unusual use of language are common. For boys, the signs are very quickly noticed before the age of 2. For girls, because girls are socialized instinctively, I guess, from the time that they are born, it doesn't, people don't see it until they become, go to junior, well, I call it junior high, but middle school.
Middle school, yeah.
And or the first year of high school when the social interactions are more intense.
Isn't that interesting? The other thing, when I was at your Dinner of Hope last year, it's not everybody has the same type of issues.
No.
It's different in everybody. It's all unique.
Yeah, it is.
Well, what they always
and even the degree of complication.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel here has Asperger's, but most people
can't tell because most he's fairly normal in all aspects when you meet him. Yeah, but
what normal is.
Who's normal? What is normal?
Yes.
I mean, what's a normal? What's an average day? But I want to say that I want to give I think Daniel credit because this whole Asperger's Works group, the organization, is all his idea, right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful idea in what you're doing to reach out and help those that are inflicted with Asperger's that that you're helping probably bring some normalcy to it, and people feel more comfortable knowing that there are others and there's a group to help.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
No, I think it's fantastic. Now, so I mean, at some point we should talk about your dinner. Do you want to do that now?
Fine.
Because I think it's an annual dinner, and
Yes.
and
This
it's
is our 4th annual this year.
called the Dinner of Hope.
That's right.
It's going to be at Maria's in downtown Haverhill in the function room. Is there a special room, a name for the room?
I think it's called the Galleria, isn't it?
Yeah.
Galleria Function Room?
Yeah, that's it, Galleria.
Yeah.
And so that's where it is. It's going to be on April 13th from 7 to 11. Cocktails and registration 6 to 7. But you can also go online and buy your ticket right now. If somebody's listening, they should get...
Up until through Friday night.
There's a discount.
There's a discount.
Right.
So it's $57
Now. 60 if they don't.
60 if they don't.
So if they want to pay at the door.
70 at the door.
70 at the door?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's a good savings, so they should buy their ticket now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how can they best do that? Go to the Asperger's Works.
AspergerWorks.org.
.org.
Now, what's the purpose of Asperger Works? What is your mission, or how'd you come to be?
Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, although many organizations that provide services for people with high-functioning autism or Asperger's, the truth is that today, the only organization with sole mission to help adults Aspies with employment issues is Asperger Works. There are members of the board and advisory board who either have Asperger's or have connections to Asperger's, and also the executive director must have Asperger's. So we're different than like a lot of other nonprofits who don't have people in leadership roles or people a part of the board who they're trying to help.
Right. Interesting.
But our main,
It does make it different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our main mission is to help people, not to find employment for people, but to help people prepare.
Get the skills.
To get the skills
Right.
for employment. And then the second part of our mission is to educate employers that these people are valuable.
It seems to me it's that perhaps when children are in school, until they graduate from high school and I hate the term, but age out, that there's a number of services available, but once you become an adult, I mean,
Well,
really the question becomes, what the heck do you do?
Well, in Massachusetts, we are actually fortunate because of former State Senator Barbara Italian. There was a law passed that now allows people with high-functioning autism to get
Help from
DDS as long as they were diagnosed prior to the age of 18.
Oh, that's good.
So
a little safety net.
That's wonderful,
Right.
but the problem
somebody
is
like me who was diagnosed as an adult, I couldn't take part on that.
there's-
really?
Yeah.
So there's a whole group of people who were not diagnosed before 18,
Interesting.
who
So,
have no services whatsoever.
and again, that's that degree which the affliction is really involved. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to talk more about this. If anybody would like to join us on the phone, 978-374-1900 is our number to connect. And this is the Open Mic Show. I'm Bill Macek. Ralph Basilera is here, my co-host, and also we have Eva and Daniel from Asperger Works for the rest of the hour. So join us at 978-374-1900 right here on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
On air and online, 97.9 WHAV is at your service. Every hour, you're up to the minute with exclusive local news and wave weather, special Merrimack Valley features, public service announcements, classic radio theater, and the best 60s, 70s, and 80s music anywhere. You're hearing Haverhill's news source, The Wave, 97.9 WHAV FM.
Rock, roll, rock, roll.
This week on the Rock and Roll Oldies Party, we are spotlighting a Motown giant. If he was still with us, he would be 80 years old this coming week. I'm talking about Marvin Gaye, known for What's Going On, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Too Busy Thinking About My Baby, Ain't No Mountain High Enough with Tammy Terrell, and so many more. For the top 5 at 5, we're going back to 1972, and America's A Horse With No Name is at number 1. Hi, it's Dave Mack. Join me this Saturday beginning at 3, the Rock and Roll Oldies Party, here at 97.9 FM WHAV.
Community Spotlight.
Card Sharks, take note. Haverhill Thrift Store Ruth's House plans a 45s card game tournament March 29th. It doubles as the Lafayette Square Mainstay's latest fundraiser. Held at Brightview Senior Living in North Andover, 1275 Turnpike Street, the tourney places players in pairs with prizes awarded to the top 3 winners. Food and drink is provided, raffles and other fun planned starting at 6 p.m. A single seat is $25 with tables of 4 available for $100. To register, visit ruthsthriftshop.com/45s. Submit your own nonprofit events and announcements at least 3 weeks in advance. For best results, use the online form under the Contact tab at WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the Open Mic Show. We're carrying on our own little dialogue off mic, but now we're back on mic, and this is the Open Mic Show. I'm Bill Macek, Ralph Basilier, my co-host, and we have Eva and Daniel from Asperger Works. And
I noticed you chickened out of our last name.
Well, you know,
sorry
we're so formal. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to be formal.
No.
That's okay.
It's Rajek, right?
Rychek.
Rychek.
Rye like in the bread, chick like in cool chick.
Ooh,
I used to say to my students.
All right. Raychick. Okay. All right. I was close.
Mm-hmm.
I got a tough last name, too, with Macek. So,
some
people I get Macek and Macek. But the one I laugh at the most is some key puncher, is what I think happened, made me Scottish. It's Macek.
Oh.
M-A-C capital E-K.
What is it? Are you Polish?
Polish, Slovakian,
Okay.
yeah, in that area of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are from?
I'm from Hungary.
Hungary, yeah.
My husband is from Poland, and he and my daughter are mongrels.
Well, that's what I say. All right, we got a call, 978-374-1900. This is the Open Mic Show. And hello, caller. Who are you?
Hello, how are you? Dr. Boucher
Dr.
here.
Boucher. How are you, Jerry?
Oh,
Hi,
like
Bill
Dr.
and
Boucher.
Ralph and Eva and Daniel and everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to, I was at that function last year, too, at
Yes, you
Maria's,
did.
lunch.
It was a nice event, and you must have
Very
another
well
program.
worthwhile,
Another
and-
program this year that's going to be informative,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
But
found
I'd
it
like to
to
ask
be
him a
very
favor.
well
If I
done.
could leave, see, I have a talking computer, and I'd like to leave my email. That they can send me a Word attachment or something in the text part of the body of the text. Would that be possible?
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, my email is G like in Gerard.
Okay, hold
You
on.
writing this down?
One second here. We're grabbing the pen. G as in Gerard.
R like in Raymond.
R.
B-O-U.
Yeah.
C-H-E-R like Boucher.
Yeah.
G.R. Boucher at USAI, United States of America Internet, USAI.
USAI.
.net.
.net.
And I'm going to bring that material to the meetings. I'm at a lot of meetings. and Ralph knows that.
USA.
And I'll bring it to my meetings, and plus I'll plan on being there myself.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Just give me the contact too, for I can buy some tickets. I don't do much of that online, but I usually pay for it by telephone, give my Visa or something.
Okay.
So if you can send me all that contact and the information, I appreciate it very much.
We will do that.
Sure. So it's usai.net?
usai.net.
Okay, good.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thanks.
All right.
Looking forward to seeing you.
And we'll look forward to seeing you at the event.
All right, thank you very much. I'll plan on being there.
Yeah, great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, we're talking with Asperger Works, and they're having a big dinner, their annual dinner. Now, you pretty much are Haverhill, Lawrence. Your offices are in Lawrence,
Yeah,
but you have Haverhill connections.
And then here's the thing: we tell people, if you can get to us, we can serve you.
Right.
But we're
So you
headquartered
must
on-
be growing, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're located at 60 Island Street in Lawrence. Our phone number is 978-710-9951, and we're at Suite 208E in Island Street.
And all the information
This is
is
on our
online.
website.
It's all online, right?
Yeah.
And that's aspergerworks.org.
And if you'd like to get in touch with us, you could email us at info@aspergerworks.org.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
A lot
the
of good
dinner-
information. Go ahead. Tell us
This
what's
year,
coming up this year
we're
at the
having
dinner.
some really cool things. First of all, this year our keynote speaker is our newly minted State Senator Diana DeZoglia.
Oh, Diana.
Oh, my favorite. Diana, the real deal DeZoglia.
That's it.
She's got more mustard than a pastrami stand.
I love her.
Yeah,
She's a
I
great
like
girl.
her too. I really like her.
She has been supporting us since day one.
Great.
So
And-
this year we invited her, and she said immediately yes.
That's fantastic.
And then we decided to do something different this year, in that we asked other people to do the presenting of the awards.
Okay.
So State Senator Andy Vargas will be there.
Nice. Another friend of mine. Yep.
State Senator
Great guy.
Christina.
State Rep.
Christina Minacucci.
Minacucci. I
Yeah.
always have trouble with her name, but she's wonderful, and she is going to be. And we have one person who's to be announced because we have not heard back yet.
Okay. But that's
we're
a
going
good
to-
group.
Yeah, we're going to be honoring this person. She's an attorney from Springfield, Mass. Her name is Shane Newmeyer, and she's a major activist on behalf of people who are on the margins of society. And she has Asperger's herself, but she's also involved in with other groups of marginalized people. And then we decided to honor a former board member of ours. His name is Tom Wood. Last year he was a presenter. He can no longer drive because besides having Asperger's, he also has cerebral palsy, and the cerebral palsy has affected his eyesight.
Oh,
He can't drive anymore.
So he's an honorary board member. We're not letting him go.
That's right.
That's
We're
nice.
not
Let him
letting him go. So we're honoring him, and we're also honoring the ARC of Greater Haverhill and Newburyport.
Wow. That you're covering a lot of bases, a lot of good bases.
Yeah, it's a full dance card.
Yeah, that'll be a nice
Yeah.
evening.
And what is different this year is that we're going to have silent auction that's going to be run by KBK Sports.
Right.
And they're going to be auctioning
I
off
saw that online. Yeah,
autographed sports memorabilia. So all you sports fans, this is your chance.
You come and
to do
to the
something
Dinner
good
of
and
Hope,
get-
and who knows, you
So
might
for
get
our
a
li-
great deal on
For our listeners, I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what it's like to live with Asperger's. What is unique about it? What's a challenge? What's a blessing?
Okay.
I know it's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
Take your time.
I would say the challenges would be to read social cues. Also, challenges of like small talk. I'm not the greatest at small talk.
Well, neither is Bill. That's why I carry him.
That's why we have. That's why I have you here, Ralph. That's right.
I'm great at small talk.
Right.
And I talk.
So a lot of what I don't think we think about it very consciously, the average person, but a lot of our communication as human beings is nonverbal cues.
Yeah, and I have nonverbal learning disability as well as part of the Asperger's diagnosis and ADHD, the concentration and.
I understand, yeah. So a lot of times with ADHD, people can't keep their room clean, but they might be very good at reading books or writing book reports, correct? You kind of get hyper, is there a hyper-focused?
I get hyper-focused.
Hyper-focused aspect?
And that's also part of Asperger's, too, that you get hyper-focused. And,
it must be awful.
I am messy. I admit that. I am messy. I try to be better, but I'm messy.
It seems to me it must be hard for the professionals to kind of tease out the difference between, what's ADD and autism spectrum and Asperger's, because a lot of them have overlapping symptoms, right?
Right.
So it's more like a kind of an art figuring out what's more of one or the other.
Well, there's a neuropsych testing.
Okay.
And they cover a bunch of areas. There's a number of hours testing. I got mine at Beth Israel in Boston. And one of the people who gave it to me was the head of the department, Dr. Margaret O'Connor.
Okay.
And
now she would be what, a neurologist or a psychologist?
Neurologist. It's a neuropsychological disease.
Right,
it's a condition. It's neuropsych.
Right.
But they not only test the person like Daniel,
they
also
family.
talk to the family, and we had to fill out this huge, long form where they ask different kinds of questions about, your relative.
Now, is there any medicine, or is there anything to help either prevent the complications getting better or stronger or worse?
With Asperger's, you mean?
Yes.
No.
No.
No medicines, but are there behavioral therapies?
Yes, there is. Early intervention is great these days. I didn't benefit from that because I was diagnosed as an adult.
Okay.
But there's what is it called? The applied behavior.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard that term in my reading somewhere. Yeah.
So you can learn how to deal with it better.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And
interesting.
that's the benefit of now people being aware of not just Asperger's but autism and Asperger's. It is different, and at the same time, it's still lumped in with the autism spectrum.
They got rid of the Asperger diagnosis and did ASD. And personally, and a lot of Aspies are upset about that they got rid of the Asperger's diagnosis and lumped it all into autism spectrum disorder because of various reasons.
Right. Well, the DSM.
Yeah, I'm talking about the DSM.
Right, the DSM manual. I do know there's a thought now that in fact there's a lot of evidence behind it in the last decade or so, especially with computer imaging, that ADD is actually a precursor to bipolar disease, and they will be classified under the mood disorders at some point coming forward, if they're not already. And that's a huge change, as you know, those classifications.
Okay, we're going to have to take a short break. We'll be right back on the Open Mic Show right here. We're talking about Asperger Works, and if you should be interested in this, and you should be aware. And we'll talk more about it on the Open Mic Show right here on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
It's 7:33.
On air and online, all the time. 97.9 WHAV FM. WHAV broadcasts more Greater Haverhill news more often than anyone else combined. Support Haverhill-based news with your tax-deductible local support. Go to WHAV.net, click on the membership button, and thank you. From 97.9 FM, WHAV.
That we deliberate and achieve with wisdom and understanding, recognizing the rights of all of our citizens with full regard for the dignity and justice of the individual.
Each week, WHAV News brings you live gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Haverhill City Council. Listen to 97.9 WHAV FM each Tuesday night at 7 when the City Council is in session from the Theodore A. Pelosi Jr. City Council Chambers in City Hall, presented as a public service from 97.9 WHAV FM.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill in the Merrimack Valley. Not a cloud in the sky tonight and cold with a low at 20 degrees. Just a 4-mile-per-hour northwesterly breeze, increasing upwards 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine once again with a high around 41. Clear in the low 20s come calling for Tuesday night. And high pressure sticking around, allowing for full sunshine. Temperatures top off in the middle 40s for Wednesday. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Catch the wave. WHAV. Open mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek along with Ralph Basilier and our two guests, Eva and Daniel from Asperger Works. Do you want to say something, Daniel? It looks like you're going to that microphone. Let's talk about, I want to get everybody listening or watching to get out their calendar, whether it's on their cell phone or whether it's a real calendar or just a piece of paper. Write down April 13th, 2019, right? All right, what's going to happen that night? It's going to be the Dinner of Hope that Asperger Works is holding their annual event. Your fourth annual event. And it's from 7 until 11. It's at Maria's Galleria Banquet Room, 85 Essex Street in Haverhill. It's a great event. I went last year. I'm going again this year. And I'm going to make it a regular event. And what I'd like to say is that you should go. And in order to find out more, people can, well, Daniel, you tell them about the places where they can go to pick up a ticket and to find out more about
you can go to
what
our
it's all about.
website at aspergerworks.org. Call us at 978-710-9951 or email event.coordinator@aspergerworks.org.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So, and
then you can also buy tickets on Facebook as well.
Oh, okay. And is that Asperger Works on Facebook?
Yeah.
Is that how they find it?
If you go to Facebook
/ Asperger Works,
then it's going to be
It'll get
listed
you
as
there.
an event.
Great.
And you can order your tickets right
So aspergerworks.org for online purchases.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah. aspergerworks.org.
and then you go on the menu dinner.
You don't have.
It's right on the on the homepage. Yeah, it's right on the homepage. I forgot about that.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, it's right on the homepage.
And right now, until the end of Friday this week, you can save money by getting a ticket for just $57.
$57.
And it's a great meal down there, along with the entertainment and the information. It's just a really interesting night.
I like the Galleria Ballroom.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do. I always have a good time there.
Yeah.
It's very nice, and we have a magician. She comes every single year, and
remember.
she comes for. Every year she tells us that I'm going to charge you the same as I did last year, which is $0.
Good for her. She makes the bill disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some family members I might want to bring along, and some neighbors.
but
Can you make them disappear?
The host, the host of the event will be.
The host of the event will be WHAV's
Tim Coco.
Really, Tim?
Will be the MC.
Yeah.
Oh, no
He's
kidding.
gonna
I didn't know
MC.
that.
Yeah, he will be the MC. Last year, when I sent him the invite, I told him that he is invited, but his broken arm is not.
He's got a great voice to be an MC.
Yeah, he has a really good radio.
Yeah. He has a face for radio.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
He's
he
wonderful.
really does.
He has.
You guys are not bad either.
No, I try. I took voice lessons.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little scary for me that we have a camera up there.
Right, that's
and,
right.
And we're on camera.
Right. Yeah, the camera part's, for a 52-year-old balding fat guy, the camera is a problem.
Yeah.
But I get through it. We all have our challenges.
Hey, look,
You would prefer just the radio without the
I
camera.
would. Listen to this voice. You kidding me?
Yeah, just
Plus,
radio.
I have a face for radio as well.
Yeah. And I'm used to radio because I'm also a licensed ham radio operator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know something? I'm glad you said that. Do you know that I once, from a U.S. Navy ship off the coast of I was in the Mediterranean, so it was either off the coast of Africa or Southern Europe, made a call to here, Bradford, to a friend's house in 1985. It was relayed by a ham radio operator.
Right.
It's one of the most interesting things I ever did.
Yeah.
This is now, mind you, this is before the internet and cell phones.
Yeah.
This is before the Soviets even knew, or even we knew, that we had GPS. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
The Pentagon knew it.
I know my father rigged his car so that he was a major ham radio operator. Oh my God. He got into so much trouble and he was arrested by the Russians, he was arrested by the Hungarians for being a spy.
No kidding.
A spy for the U.S.? He was accused?
For England.
Oh.
For England.
No kidding.
When I was a baby, he spent the first few months of my babyhood in prison.
Oh my! But he got out.
Yeah, he got out. He got out, and then we got out of Hungary. So we escaped, and I was just looking. Every year, not every year, but more than once, I go with the League of Women Voters to register people to vote at the naturalization ceremonies in Lowell.
Nice.
And I was looking back, and it was almost. It was in 1965. How many years is that?
1965 would be 53 years.
35 and
53.
19.
I was born in 1966, and I'm 52.
So I became a citizen in 1965.
No kidding.
In July of 1965. It's amazing. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, time
flies.
Time does fly.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So let me also mention, because this is part of the stuff Tim wants me to do, that this is March and it's almost over, but March membership month at 97.9 WHAV FM is where people should help out, because this is a nonprofit organization that Tim has to be because of the type of FCC license he has. And it's important that people realize that all the good stuff that comes out of WHAV, both on the radio and online, it doesn't happen for free.
Yep.
Even though it's
member.
given out for free. Right, I am too. Yep. And I think it's important that people, you pay, if you buy the newspaper, you're going to pay a lot more than Tim hopes you pay to be a member for a year, and you get a lot. So
and this is better than the newspaper, actually.
That a boy. I think Tim wanted him to say that. Who said you're not good at social cues?
Yeah.
I think Tim would want him to say that.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't like
that out-of-town newspaper.
I don't like
the out-of-town newspaper.
Yeah. I don't like them.
Yeah. Well,
put his mic closer while he's talking like that. Tim's going to hire you.
Yeah. He'll use these voice cuts in the news tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to look at certain reporters I know when I see them in the grocery line.
But anyway, to thank all the people that have gotten involved as members, and if somebody else would like to get involved helping WHAV keep this program, keep the show running, keep the internet news running, keep the online news running. I mean, everything that's being done, it takes paid people to get these things done. It costs a lot to just run the organization. So become a member today. It's easy. Just visit WHAV.net and click on the photograph of Tom Bergeron. Now, he started at the original WHAV.
Yeah, Tom Bergeron's a Haverhill guy.
But he's still a member.
He lived on the corner of West Hilldale and West Rob Show, if I remember right.
He's still a member, and when he's in town, he'll stop by and to the station. He's come to some of Tim's events. Yeah. Anyway, become a member by clicking on Tom Bergeron, and you'll get a membership card and a bumper sticker.
I did not get either.
You didn't get either?
No.
Well, let's go through the supply closet before we leave here tonight.
Yeah, we'll try to help you out.
Yeah.
If not, we'll make sure Tim gets that right over to you.
I think they might have Post-it notes and highlighters, too, that we can
All right, well.
Fill a
bumper
bag.
sticker is a good idea because
Wait, you're right.
that way we can advertise.
And you know, they're called bumper stickers, but you can put them on your windows
Yeah.
because a lot of people with
That's
the
what I
painted
do.
bumpers, you just put it on your rear window. That's what I do.
And also you can buy, I was told, these magnet things that you can put
Oh,
That's right.
I didn't know that.
That's very convenient because if I put a bumper sticker for someone, they don't win the election, that night, I go out and I scrape it off.
Yeah.
No.
And if not,
No, that's an old joke we used to say about a
But if not,
friend
you
of
leave it on for a year or two.
Right, yeah.
Well, I have a friend who leaves them on forever because that's the way she can find her car.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There's another good reason to use bumper stickers.
Stickers,
Yeah. All right. Well, we're talking to Eva and Daniel from Asperger Works. And if you'd like to call in, 978-374-1900 is the number to call. And don't forget to get your ticket for their big event. And what else would you like to, did you bring along to talk about? Anything that you think is...
Mostly we came to push our...
Push your dinner. Yeah. Well,
And
that's
we
a big
forgot
event.
to say-
But you have such a lineup this year.
Yeah, we have a local band, live band.
You do?
Really?
We had last year.
Yeah, but you got another one.
Well, same one.
Oh, same one. Okay.
We
All right.
reserved them
All right.
last year.
Good.
So you have the band, you have the magician, you have the
Yes,
MC.
Stephanie Beach, the magician.
Wow.
Yeah, we have MC. We have
our lovely Tim Coco. Yeah.
Tim Coco is the MC.
Yeah, and we have a lot of wonderful supporters.
And a great dinner.
Yeah,
and a great dinner.
A great dinner.
And
At Maria's Galleria.
Yeah. Maria's needs a little kudo because we don't have to pay for the space. We
Nice.
Just pay for
That's
the food.
that's very good of them. They're very they are very community minded family.
Yeah,
They're-
he's a great
Issa
guy.
and his brothers. They're really good people.
He really is. Yeah, absolutely.
So-
So that's on April 13th.
April 13th.
April 13th.
And we just want people to know that we have grown in the last year. We
Yeah.
have some new board members. We
Some
have
new clients.
some new clients.
Yeah.
We're up to 5 clients. This is a biggie because a year ago we had 1.
Wow.
Wow.
So
that's 5 times growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So we're very proud of
500%.
Well, mathematically, 500% is not possible, but 5 times I'll agree with Councilor.
But so we're very proud of where we're going. We have a beautiful little office that everybody is welcome to visit. And over the course of the year, and for the last 2 years and this year, we have had international students who work with us as volunteers.
From China.
Well, it's
Most of them
interesting
are
that
from China.
what would a parent look for in his or her child? You said that in boys it could be very young, that it could be detected. What would you be looking for? What would be the symptoms? Is it?
There's no
There's
one.
no one thing?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that is a major difficulty in lay people.
Okay.
You just. I don't know. With Daniel, he was very precocious. He was extremely bright. He was able to do things that other children his age were not able to do. For
Mhm.
instance, Sundays my husband and I like to sleep in.
Yeah.
So we did not want him to bother us. We had one TV, and the TV was in our bedroom. So therefore, he had no option to come and watch TV. So I would leave for him a sheet of paper with a mathematical. I'm a math teacher, so
right.
So mathematical problems, but it wasn't a simple one. It was like 4 plus 3 minus 2 times this or that. And it was like one line, and then there was another line and another line, and we figured it will keep him busy. And he was, by the time we got up, he had the whole sheet finished.
Done.
And correctly.
Wow.
When he went to school, they didn't give him homework. So I am a teacher. I like homework, even though today it's again out of fashion to have homework, but I believe in homework. And so I would give him homework at home, send it to school. Well, they were very insulted by that. And so they called me in, and then they proceeded to prove that Daniel was not the one doing the problems, but I was doing them.
They accused you.
Oh, here we go, yeah.
And
Great.
and then the principal looked at me and he said, the best thing you can do for your son is not to do anything.
Wow.
Well, that's not good advice. Good thing you didn't listen to that.
Right.
Hey, we got to take another break, and we'll be back with more discussion with Eva and Daniel. And it's Ray Chick. Rye Chick.
There
Rye
you
Chick.
go.
All right.
Now you
Rye
got
Chick.
Rye like the bread, chick like
Rye
the bird.
All right.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
we'll be right back with more discussion with my two guests from Asperger Works right here on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900.
Sure, you're enjoying the music, but did you know you can hear comedy and drama every night? Listen to these remastered classics at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Only local radio can bring you this combination of news, music, and features. But only WHAV does.
You pay for television, newspapers, Netflix maybe, but aren't used to paying for radio, you say. When you buy a WHAV membership during this March membership month, you're not paying for radio, you're paying for the best local news coverage. Become a member today by clicking on the photograph of Tom Bergeron at WHAV.net. You may also pledge by phone by calling 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900. Give today to keep local news coming.
WHAV Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we're back on the Open Mic Show. We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff here tonight, including retail marijuana. We were talking about that with Colin LePage, and here we are talking about it again. The medical marijuana was the first thing that Massachusetts approved, and what we were talking about off mic was that there is a medicinal quality to marijuana, and some things don't even. I was talking to one of the owners of the first licensed in the state and the first to make it to alternative therapies. They're down in Salem, Mass. And I asked them, what percentage of what they sell was medicinal, but did not, they take out the THC to the point that there's no high given from it. And he said probably about 50% of the product they sell is for a medicinal purpose.
My husband got a prescription from his doctor.
Yeah.
Because he's had different pains. And And we went there. My God, the security is amazing.
The security's amazing. The state is really doing it upright, I think. And I think that this is, the people that are fearful, I think that this is the last chapter of reefer madness, as I call it. Because I think
because they did such a that was all done on disproof. It was not true at all.
Right.
And classifying weed as a class. As a
controlled substance.
Yeah, boo to that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I think I think all the fears that people have, they're not going to develop. No matter what you do.
I think the one fear that's based, in fact, is the concern about people driving under the influence.
Well, I think but that's something that we have to do.
Like liquor, you drive. Right. Idea is liquor.
Right.
You know, from downtown Haverhill, whether you were buying, consuming marijuana or buying it retail or an alcoholic beverage, you can get a cab home any place for about $8.
Right.
For about the cost of a drink.
Or even Uber or Lyft.
Right.
So, I think things will not be at least as crazy as some people are concerned.
Yeah, I don't think the sky's falling.
And it's a lot healthier for you than cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that needs to be discussed.
They should make cigarettes illegal.
Where it can be smoked, because right now you can't smoke cigarettes any place in public. And we, as we spoke in the first hour with Colin LePage,
can you smoke
one of
weed
the
in
things the
public?
state has not figured out yet are the regulations for what they call consumption, public consumption,
like a cafe, like in like a cafe. Like
we'll call
instead
it
of coffee.
We'll call it a pot bar.
Instead of coffee.
Where is there one of those?
In Amsterdam, they had.
To Amsterdam we go.
Get a ticket, Ralph.
And you see, here's another thing that, like Daniel has, is vast knowledge about different things.
Right.
My husband says a useless information, but because he has, and that's an aspect.
It is good,
thing.
right?
Yeah. And that's a
You should go on a game show. You'd be fantastic with all that information.
Too fast.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know something? But that's not an Asperger's thing. I can't tell you how many times I'm watching a game show, and if I had 3 more seconds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know.
Boy, if I had 3 more seconds.
Right. Well, but one of the things I think we will need to control the consumption, but I think the state also is going to impose that on us because of as we spoke about, we voted over 50%. We have to open retail marijuana shops in Haverhill, a percentage of our liquor license, which right now it comes to 6%. So we're working towards that.
They're using the liquor.
They're using the liquor license,
for the weed.
A percentage of it that we have to then, allow for pot shops.
And just while we're mentioning the State Cannabis Control Commission, I think we all know that I'd be interested in going on that commission. So if the governor is listening, Ralph Bazilia, governor.
No, that would be a very interesting commission to be on.
That would be, because you know what he is. It's with certain things. If you're on the cutting edge, if you're on the tipping point of history, you know, and that could happen really with any regulatory commission.
Now the question is, would the federal government make it legal?
There's talk I hear in Washington. They're talking about declassifying.
The money we spend on prosecuting cannabis is ridiculous.
And how many people are in prison?
Crazy.
I had when I was in real estate many years ago. There was an older gentleman in the office. He had a problem with his eyes, and he glaucoma. That's what it was, and he got through the local street corner dealer marijuana just because it helped him see better.
Yeah, I always my father had glaucoma and macular degeneration, and I always wanted to get for him, and he would have died first before
he touched it. Yeah.
I don't know what in the retail shops the price per, I think, gram, that's how they measure it, would be, but I do know.
Did they mention anything yet?
I have heard a lot of talk about it would be considerably higher than the person who's selling it black market. What we've seen in Massachusetts and Colorado, the people going to the pot shops are not the criminal element.
No.
They're not
Right.
crazy young kids. They're
Every walk
they're,
of life.
They're middle-aged and elderly
People our
people
age, yeah.
who want, who can afford the medical grade and buy it for that reason. Or
the recreational grade.
Right, the recreational grade, what will be sold with those standards. So we're not going to have these people were telling you we're going to have a line of criminals from whatever city they want to pick.
Or New Hampshire.
Yeah,
coming
where
down.
people look different than
Yeah.
them. Yeah, they're full of crap.
Yeah, or coming down from New Hampshire.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, the only people you're really going to be having is the financial decision makers in the households. Will be your customers.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
No.
But you know what is going to be a big deal? There's this dinner coming up.
Yeah.
Down at Maria's. Let's get that in one more time
At
because
Maria's
we're almost out of
Galleria
time.
Ballroom.
Asperger Works is having a great Dinner of Hope, they call it. It's their 4th annual. It's going to be at Maria's Galleria on April 13th. And mark your calendar and get your ticket now because you can save money now. They have a discounted early purchase price online at, you can go to events.coordinator@aspergerworks.org. You can go Asperger Works on Facebook. You can
go to our website.
You can call 978-710-9951.
And if you want to
go to your website,
put ads in our ad book or sponsor our organization, sponsor our dinner, please go on our website.
On your website, okay.
Yep.
And so it's a great event, and the
really
list
looking
of
for
guests
sponsors.
is stellar.
Yep.
You know, all the people that will be there, and Tim Coco is going to be the guest. I mean, the speaker,
the MC.
The MC. That's what I should have said.
And Asperger Works, which helps adults with Asperger's.
A great organization.
And youth 16 to 22.
And youth 16 to 22 with Asperger's problem.
Employment issues.
Right.
And
if the school department of Haverhill is listening, we want to get into the schools.
They may be.
And we have not been able to get into the schools.
Well, this is your microphone to do so.
Yeah. Okay. So
Megaphone.
that's all the good stuff that we've been talking about this past hour. We're having a great conversation, a lot of fun. We've been all over the track here, but that's okay because
that's what we do.
That's what we do, right? That's what it's all about. This is the Open Mic Show, and I want to say that we do this every Monday night, 6 until 8. And you should be joining us, not just listening. I think, you know what we need? We need a voice changer, I think, because I think many people say, oh, geez, everybody knows my voice, or I don't want anybody to know it's me calling in. So I'm going to talk to Tim, see if we can get a voice changer. So the voice sounds different when they call in. Yeah, don't hold your breath for that. But,
the scrambler.
But I think it would be a good idea. All right, this is the Open Mic Show. I'm Bill Macek, Ralph Basilier, my co-host, also Eva and Daniel. And I'm going to try it one more time.
Rychik.
Rye. I keep going Ray. It's Rychik.
Like, imagine if you were dating a girl in Rye, New Hampshire. She might be your Rychik.
My Rychik. All right. See, there you go. That's the way to remember things. Thanks,
I'll
Ralph.
never forget it now.
All right. Thank you. All right. See you on April 13th, if not sooner. And we hope you're coming back next Monday night for the Open Mic Show. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Been a pleasure,
Thank you
folks.
for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank you.
And,
You're welcome.
That wraps it up.
That's a
right
wrap.
here on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Join Bill Macek live on the Open Mic Show again next Monday night at 6. The opinions expressed on the Open Mic Show are not necessarily those of 97.9 WHAV FM, its underwriters, or affiliated stations. The Open Mic Show came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom.
It's 8:01.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill in the Merrimack Valley. Not a cloud in the sky tonight and cold with a low at 20 degrees. Just a 4-mile-per-hour northwesterly breeze, increasing upwards 8 miles per hour tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine once again with a high around 41. Clear in the low 20s come calling for Tuesday night. And high pressure sticking around, allowing for full sunshine. Temperatures top off in the middle 40s for Wednesday. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Know what's happening. Sign up for your free Wavelengths newsletter. Online all the time at WHAV.com.